Every year, all across the planet, something amazing happens. People stop what they're doing to celebrate the new year. Cities light up with spectacular fireworks. Massive crowds count down the final seconds, families gather together, and millions of people all welcome the exact same moment at midnight. But have you ever stopped to ask why we do this? Why do we celebrate the new year in the first place? The idea of the new year is deeply connected to how we as humans understand time itself. From the earliest days of civilization, people needed a way to track the passing of days, seasons, and years. Time wasn't just an abstract concept, it was a tool for survival. It helped us know when to plant crops, when to harvest our food, and when to prepare for the cold of winter. As humans began organizing time into predictable cycles, the concept of a new year was born, a clear marker showing when one cycle ends and a brand new one begins. Interestingly, in ancient civilizations, New Year celebrations weren't always on January 1st. In fact, for many cultures, the New Year was celebrated in spring, a season that perfectly symbolized rebirth, renewal, and new life. The Babylonians, one of the earliest known civilizations, were celebrating the New Year over 4,000 years ago. Their celebrations took place during the spring equinox, and for them, the New Year was all about starting fresh, in sync with the natural world, and they weren't alone. Other cultures followed similar ideas rooted in nature's rhythms. In ancient Egypt, the New Year was linked to the annual flooding of the Nile River. This event was crucial because it brought fertile soil to the land, promising a bountiful harvest and ensuring their survival. Over in ancient China, the New Year was based on the lunar calendar. The celebration focused on family, attracting good fortune, and, very importantly, driving away bad spirits and negativity from the previous year. All of these ancient traditions show that the new year has always been about one powerful feeling: hope. It was a hope for survival, a hope for success, and a hope for prosperity in the cycle to come. So, if so many cultures celebrated in the spring, or at other times, how did January 1st become the official new year for so much of the world? For that, we can thank the Romans. The change came from the Roman calendar. Originally, even the Romans celebrated their new year in March. But in the year 46 BCE, Julius Caesar introduced a major reform known as the Julian calendar. He declared that January 1st would officially be the start of the new year. The month was named after Janus, the Roman god of beginnings, gates, and transitions. Janus was a fitting choice. It was often depicted with two faces, one looking back into the past and the other looking forward into the future, making him the perfect symbol for the transition from an old year to a new one. Over the centuries, as the Roman Empire expanded its influence across Europe and beyond, the tradition of celebrating the new year on January 1st became more and more widely accepted. Much later, the Gregorian calendar refined this system, and it remains the global standard we use today. This is why, whether you're in New York, London, or Tokyo, the countdown is to midnight on December 31st. In the modern world, the new year has taken on an even more powerful emotional meaning. It's no longer just about calendars or tracking the seasons, it's about reflection. When the year draws to a close, people naturally look back and think about what they've experienced over the last 12 months. We think about our successes, our failures, moments of happiness, times of loss, and how we've grown. All of it becomes part of the story of the year that's ending. This reflection naturally leads to one of the most famous New Year traditions of all, New Year's resolutions. People set goals for themselves because the new year feels like a clean slate, a fresh start. Psychologically, it gives us permission to let go of our past mistakes and truly believe that change is possible. Whether your goal is to improve your health, learn a new skill, or simply become a better version of yourself, the new year represents a world of opportunity. It's a moment of pure potential. The celebrations themselves are also packed with rich symbolism. Think about fireworks. They're loud and bright for a reason. In many cultures, the noise and light were believed to scare away bad luck and negative energy, clearing the way for a positive year ahead. The collective countdowns bring people together, creating a shared experience and reminding us that time is a journey we are all on together. And when the clock finally hits midnight, that massive cheer you hear around the world represents so many emotions all at once. Relief that another year is complete, excitement for what's next, and an overwhelming sense of hope. Even traditions like kissing a loved one at midnight or sharing special meals have deep meanings. They symbolize love, connection, and unity, the very things people want to carry with them into the year ahead. Despite all our cultural differences, the fundamental reason people celebrate the new year is surprisingly universal. It's that one moment in time where humanity collectively pauses and says, "We're starting again." It doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, or what your personal beliefs are. The new year gives everyone the same chance to look forward and move forward. At its core, celebrating the new year isn't really about the fireworks, the parties, or the fancy outfits. It's about belief. It's about the belief that as time moves forward, possibility moves forward with it. It's a powerful reminder that even if the past year was difficult or challenging, the next one hasn't been written yet. The pages are blank, and you hold the pen. And that's why when the clock strikes midnight, people all over the world cheer. They're not just cheering for a new date on the calendar. They're cheering for a new chance to begin again. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own New Year's traditions in the comments below. Happy New Year!